Hi, folks. Today I want to talk to you about information overload and the decision-making process. Could that sound more boring? No, but it's important, okay? And it goes down to something very simple, all right? Some things that I've noticed this week. One of the things that struck me was there was Chris, who's on one of our lists, and he's at the Master Trainers program for some kind of thing, all right? And while he's there with all these master trainers, he's noticing that most of them cannot yet do the simplest skill, like anchoring. At this point, they had not able to actually use anchoring effectively at all. So I was thinking about it. It's like really interesting. When I was reading this book, because I've been reading it, I've been taking my time. It's called How We Decide by Johann Lear. All right, you're gonna meet this guy, but he brings up a really good point, and it's where it's a mind twisting point that I want you to think about. That it would seem logical that when making decisions, that the more information you had, the better your decision would be. So, it would seem that here's your decision, all right, and if you had a ton of information. All of this, and you built it and built it and built it and built it, that you would move and make that decision. All right? Now, the problem with that is that it doesn't work. And I'm going to illustrate that really quickly. So imagine this. Just a lot of you guys are salespeople, and you make this mistake, and I want to show it to you really well, all right, really quickly. All right, so here you have your customer. He has decided, hey, come on in and sell me something. And you're going to present him information. All right, now, even if you don't have a customer, think about a decision you're trying to make and how much information you'd like to have. All right, so logically, it would seem that if you gave him this much information of why he should do it, then he'll do it, right? Well, if that much information is good, then this much information should be even better, right? It should go on that scale, all right, and and actually the more information, the more you get him to go to the decision you want him to do, all right? Well, if this amount of information is good, then this amount of information must be even better, and this amount of information would assuredly make sure that this person would do what you want them to do, or at least make the point that you want to make in any discussion. The problem is this. Look at that mess. Your prefrontal cortex can't handle this much information. It does what is called get confused. All right? And then it goes one step further. Now that it has this much information, then it started imagining more information, because the brain is a prediction mechanism. So if it imagines this much information, there must be at least double that someplace else. Now, where this has shown up for me is that I've got a guy I'm trying to help make a decision, okay, and to run his business. And every morning he'll wake up, he'll look at the internet, and he'll get a ton of information, and then he'll be depressed, and he won't do anything for the rest of the day, because this is what he does to himself. Okay, he gets all of this information, and because he has all of this information, he can't figure out where this piece of information is and this piece of information is, the important parts of what he needs to be doing. They're obscured by all of this other information. So even if you have somebody you're trying to convince something of, or sell, or do a presentation, or ask for a raise, or anything, okay, and you give all of this information, you haven't figured out what's going on here. This guy sees all this information, and it's, now he can't do anything. He's paralyzed. Little red like lines come out of their head, and they're just like horrified and confused. And they don't know what to do. Now, if it was me, I'd find out ahead of time what are the important information that this guy needs to know, so that I can tell him that and he make his decision. So the weights and measure idea of persuasion doesn't work. What has the most impact, and imagine this, if I erase all of this, even if this is really good technical information, and I erase all of it, and I focus on these 3 bits of information, all right, how much easier is it going to be for this guy to calm down and actually make a decision that makes him happy? All right? This is what you want to be doing. Now, interestingly enough, there's a guy named let me find it, Paul Anderson, who did a job did a research in the late 80s at MIT. And basically he had a group of business students select stocks. He took half of those people and allowed them to do all the research they wanted to do. All right? And then the other half were only allowed to see the stock price, and they had to base all their decisions based upon the stock price. Now, it would seem that these people made the best decisions, but no. While they might have made the best decisions, these people made more money because they got the decision out of the way, they focused on what they needed to focus on, and they moved. They took action. Too much information triggers like a freeze response in the brain, and you end up doing nothing. All right? So, and actually, this book makes a really good point, and I want to cover it real quick. The danger is that when you have too much information, it actually interferes with your ability to understand. All right? Just think of that again. When you have too much information, it interferes with your ability to understand. So, a lot of people are just gathering a ton of information so that they can be comfortable making a decision. All right, they're overwhelming their own insecurities and whatever. And it's like the people who aren't even able to do something as simple as anchoring somebody. They're not able to do anything because they're too busy educating themselves. They're so busy educating themselves, they can't do anything. All right? They're educating themselves into stagnation. All right? And this is what a lot of you people are doing out there. A lot of people, even people who have my products and buy what we do, what Kim and I do, they want more information so they can stagnate, while there's other people out there that get 2 or 3 pieces of information and do something. And I've been guilty of this myself. We're just coming out with our vocal influence product that I had recorded and edited and ready to go 2 years ago. But I wasn't happy with the old DVD, mail it in the mail format. I wanted to find a way where I could deliver it online so that when you bought it, you could have it right away. Okay? When you have it right away, happy guy. All right? There's no shipping, handling, all of that stuff. Erase all of that out of what it would cost, and I'd be able to deliver it. Well, I thought if I could find all these programs out there that I could finally find one that was of high enough quality and good enough to do it, to deliver the information the way I want to deliver it in nice small little pieces, not in giant chunks of stagnation. Small little lessons, go out and do. So after a year and a half of playing around with this thing, I finally went back to the same software that I've been using for the past 7 years. And the vocal influence stuff is almost ready. Okay? And by the way, it's going to be so cheap, it's the cheapest, the price is going to be amazing. So just stick on the site and put your name in the thing over there to get email notification when it comes out. But my point is this, all right? How much information do you think you need in order to make a decision? Usually it's half as much or a quarter of much of what you're spending. And you need to go out there, get the appropriate amount of information, be able to decide which bits are important, and then move forward. Okay? If you're not, then you're just in information stagnation. Okay? And the other part is then you end up with imagination stagnation, because now you have information and imagination which are desperately doing nothing. So anyway, that's all I got to say today. Have fun. If you like this, send it on. Spread the word. If you hate it, tell people you hate about it. Talk to you all later.